going to take a look at partial fraction decomposition. So first, let's review from yesterday how to solve this. So we get the variables out of our denominator, so x, and we distribute that. But you'll notice if we put an x next to all of these, x and x reduces to 1. So we have x minus 6 equals x plus 4 plus x. So x minus 6 equals 2x plus 4 minus x. Negative 6 equals x plus 4 minus 4 minus 4. We have x equals negative 10. Plug that back in to check. Negative 10 minus 6 over negative 10. Does that equal negative 10 plus 4 over negative 10 plus 1? Well, we got negative 16 over negative 10. Let's see, this would be negative 6 over negative 10 plus 1. So 16 tenths, does that equal 6 tenths plus 1? Well, it sure does, so we're good there. So now we're going to look at partial fractions. Let's say you had 2/3 plus 4/5. And I asked you to add these. Well, most of you would say our common denominator is 15. And we have to multiply this one times 5 times 5. So we have 10/15 plus times 3 times 3, 12/15. And we end up with 22/15. So what we're looking here is how do we take this and go backwards? How do we take a single fraction and split it into 2? Well, the first thing when we look at this denominator, like if you had 1/3 plus 1/4, you'd say your denominator is going to be 12. So we have to figure out what multiplies together to give us this denominator. So we're going to factor it. So a times c, we have negative 6. Well, that's going to be negative 3 and 2. So 3x and 2x. X times x minus 3 plus 2. So we know it factors. If we were to split up this fraction, x minus 3 and x plus 2, because those bottom two multiplied together will give us this. Similar how times 3 times 5 gave us 15. But we don't know the numerator, so we're just going to put an a and a b. And now we're going to use our ideas from yesterday, and we're going to solve this. So our fraction busters, x minus 3 is a factor, x plus 2. So next to each one of this, we'll have x plus 3, x plus 2, x minus 3, x plus 2. Oh, and this should have been a minus back here. X plus 3, x minus 2. Excuse me, I'm getting those backwards. Minus 3 and plus 2. Well, we know these are equivalent, so on that side we're left with 3x plus 5, x minus 3, x minus 3, so a times x plus 2 plus b, x plus 2, x plus 2 times x minus 3. So again, our goal is to figure out that a and b. Well, let's choose an x value. What would make this a go away? Well, a times 0. Well, when x is negative 2, our a value will go away. So what is 3 times negative 2 plus 5 equals a negative 2 plus 2 plus b negative 2 minus 3. Let's see, negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. 0 times a is 0, so we have negative 5b. So b equals 1/5. Well, what would make this b value go away? Well, when x equals 3. So let's plug in that. 3 times 3 plus 5. A times 3 plus 2 plus b times 3 minus 3. Well, 3 minus 3 is 0. Let's see, 9 plus 5 is 14. 5a. So a equals 14/5. So our final answer, our a value, we have 14/5 over x minus 3 plus our b value of 1/5 over x plus 2. And at times you'll see this, I would accept this answer, but you'll also see it where it's like you're dividing fractions where you keep your 14/5 times your reciprocal, so 1 over x minus 3. So you'll see it written like this as 1 over 5 times x plus 2 as well, where they simplify that, but I would accept this answer. So we're going to try this one again. First thing you have to do is factor this. So you can pause and box and circle, but I can see that this one I factored enough that this factors into x plus 2, x minus 1. So I know it's going to be some value over x plus 2 plus some value over x minus 1. And now we'll do the fraction busters. X plus 2 times x minus 1. We'll see if I can get it right this time. So x plus 2 times x minus 1 here reduces to 1, reduces to 1. 8x plus 7 equals x plus 2 times x minus 1. A times x minus 1 plus b, let's see, x plus 2 x minus 1 times x plus 2. So now we'll make these a values. The a will go away when x equals 1. So we'll plug that in. 8 times 1 plus 7. A times 1 minus 1 plus b times 1 plus 2. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have 15 over here. 2 plus 1 is 3b. So b equals 5. And what will make our b to go away? Well, when x is negative 2. So we have 8 times negative 2 plus 7 equals a times negative 2 minus 1 plus b times negative 2 plus 2. Well, that's 0. Negative 16 plus 9 plus 7 is negative 9 equals negative 3a. So a equals 3. So our final answer, our a value is 3 over x plus 2 plus 5 over x minus 1.